Hello and welcome to Pockenrop. In today's video I am continuing my series ranking every track from the Paul McCartney post-Beatles solo albums. I've done everything from McCartney all the way through to Back to the Egg, so the 70s are now complete and we move into the 80s. And we have to start with what was only his second true solo album, where it was just him, McCartney II. Released in 1980 and trailed by the hit single Coming Up, it was a #1 album in the United Kingdom and reached #3 in the United States. So this was a proper hit album for McCartney from 1980, after the previous two Wings albums had charted a little bit lower in the top 10s. Before I dive into my ranking, I just remind you to like the video, subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications of future content. There are 11 tracks, so let's start with number 11, and I have placed Front Parlour. This opens side 2, and I've known this track for over 30 years, and yet if you stop me in the street and ask me to hum Front Parlour, I can't. This has the same problem as Valentine's Day from the McCartney album, in that I just can't recall it. I don't hate it. There's nothing on McCartney II that I dislike. It's just totally forgettable. Front Parlour, number 11. At number 10, from side 2 again, I have placed Bogey Music. So this is inspired by the book Fungus the Bogeyman, that I believe he was reading to his kids at the time. It's daft, silly fun. The echo on his vocals starts to get on my wick after a while. It's a track that I blow hot and cold on. At the moment I'm blowing cold. Bogey Music at number 10. At number 9 I have placed Summer's Day Song, the second track from side 2. So at the moment side 2 is not coming off too great. It's a beautiful little melodic, washy kind of sound with short, pretty lyrics on it. There is a instrumental version which you can hear on the McCartney II archive collection full set. The lyrics improve it. It's nothing special. It's innocuous. It's perfectly fine. Number 9, Summer's Day Song. At number 8, I have the first track that I've picked from side 1 of the record, and it's Nobody Knows. That ends side 1. Nice little chugging track. There's a really good reference in there to Samson and Delilah, which means that McCartney referred to that part in a song before Leonard Cohen did with Hallelujah in 84, although, of course, Hallelujah is a much more lauded song. It's fun, it's fine. Nobody Knows at number 8. At number 7, I have placed from side 2, Dark Room. It's a bit sinister in feel, which possibly fits the whole idea of that title of Dark Room. The lyrics are odd, but they make sense. I mean, but let me show you to my dark room. It's got, with the music underneath it, it's got a real uncomfortableness to it. It's actually, for McCartney, quite a departure. It's short and it's okay. Dark Room. Number 6, I've placed On the Way. So this is a good bluesy riff, and it's by no means top tier McCartney, but I like On the Way. I can happily listen to this and really enjoy the musicianship that McCartney is demonstrating on this track. There's some also really intricate bass playing on the second half of the song. On the Way has quite a bit of merit and is a really quite a good song. It's one of the songs on McCartney II that I would have liked to have heard done by a full band. So I think it would probably shine. At number 5, I have placed one of the songs that is often cited as one of the very best from McCartney II, but I just find it a bit too long, too slow, and a little bit boring. It's Waterfalls. Now, it is a good song, but it could have been so much better. I would love to hear Waterfalls done by Wings. It would have been a revelation, given the fact that, as we will come to later on, Coming Up was done live by Wings in a far superior version. It is a shame that these are almost demos. The main problem for me with Waterfalls is the fact that I don't particularly like electric piano sound, and it is pure electric piano. But that said, it's a proper song. It is a decent song, Waterfalls, and it was a number 8 hit in the UK. McCartney's first single to fail to hit the top 100, though, in America. So I'm possibly more on the American view of Waterfalls. The single version is better because it's shorter. At number 4, I have placed the superior instrumental from this record, Frozen Jap. Now, I really like Frozen Jap. I think it's one of his very best instrumental tracks. Whilst the title is obviously a bit of a cause for concern, and in the Japanese version it's actually called Frozen Japanese, the sound of the track fits the title. It does have that oriental flavour to it that was then done later by Anika with the single Japanese Boy. It totally works for its title. I think the fact that it's shortened from the original version is probably a wise choice on McCartney's part. Number 4, Frozen Jap. Number 3, I have placed Temporary Secretary. Now, this has made a comeback in his live concerts of late. And there are so many other songs that I would much rather hear done live. But Temporary Secretary is fun. He released this as a 12-inch single, backed by a 10-minute track called Secret Friend. As it was only a limited 12-inch single release, it didn't chart. But it's fun. It's McCartney enjoying himself in the studio. And this is a theme that we will touch on right at the end when I do a summation of the whole album. But Temporary Secretary, it's an odd song, but I do enjoy it. I have to be in the right mood though, and that's the same for the whole of the McCartney II album. My second favourite song on the album, number 2, is the closer, One of These Days. This is a beautiful song. Great melody, great lyrics. It's a good way to end the album because it does leave you with a positive feeling about the music on there. Again, Wings could have done an absolutely great version of One of These Days. This is a lovely ballad, and it's good to end the album with a proper song after having trudged through the not great stuff that's on side 2. One of These Days, which means that my favourite track from McCartney II can only be Coming Up. Opens the album. I believe it was the last thing he recorded. He bothered to get Wings to learn this, and they performed it in their UK tour at the end of 1979. A live recording from the Glasgow gig was put on the B-side of the record, and in America, the DJ said, we want that version, and flipped the record. And I think it is a better version than we have on the studio version from McCartney II. Coming Up live in Glasgow is phenomenal. McCartney II's best track, Coming Up. So overall, McCartney II is an album that I don't dislike anything on. But equally, there is nothing on McCartney II that I absolutely adore. That would be different were this a Powerhouse Wings album. There would be 5 or 6 tracks that I would probably put top drawer McCartney. And it's worth remembering that when McCartney recorded McCartney II, he wasn't intending making an album. This was him noodling around in his studio at home. And when he played it to people, they went, there's your next album. This album was not created for me. It was not created for the fans. It was not even created to grab the attention of Lennon, which, by the way, Coming Up most certainly did. It was made to entertain himself. And as a result, in many ways, it is the purest of all McCartney albums. There was no commercial intent. He just made what he felt like, and this is what we get. In my view, when you listen to the sessions that would have made the double album version of McCartney II, I think he made some mistakes in what he kept and culled. But by and large, I think he got the best out of what he got in total. So that's my thoughts. McCartney II ranked. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back in a week's time with my son to do the 20 through to 11 list of our top 100 songs of all time. Until then, I'll remind you to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell to receive notifications. But until next time, thanks for watching.